Hello, welcome to episode 3 of this series where I do random stuff and talk about things that come across my mind. So, today, one thing that crossed my mind was life in general. I think the way the world is evolving, the way things are changing all around us. Uh, I get confused. Probably I would never talk about these things in real life if you meet me because I don't like talking about mundane philosophical stuff. Uh, but yeah, I think the camera is a good escape, and having no one in the room really helps. Thanks to my roommate, and I think that is what it is. So, uh, I've been having two very contrasting opinions about things in general with how the events have unfolded in front of me in the last few days. So, पता ही है सबको कि प्रोटेस्ट्स चल रहे थे कॉलेज में एंड देन वी शिफ्टेड ऑन टू दिवाली एंड देन वी शिफ्टेड ऑन टू incense and today we were celebrating India's win, which is a great thing. Just hit me somewhere how short people's memories are. One day we're like plagued with a problem, one day the next day we've just completely forgotten about it, and we don't necessarily think of what ensues in that direction. And in this ever changing, ever evolving, ever competing world, I think somewhere somehow me personally have lost sense of a touch or sense of reality as to where do I stand, where do I exist, and the big question: who cares when you die? And I think definitely there's your parents, and there are people who you have touched in some way or the other through your lifespan, and I think that's about it. So, growing up, making yourself memorable, making yourself a great man, making yourself a man that everyone remembers, everyone falls for, was a big accomplishment. A person who sacrifices things for the good of others, which is still a good thing, but I think slowly and gradually the culture is dying out. It's more self-centered, not selfish necessarily, but yeah, definitely it's more self-centered in my opinion. When I talk with my father, his worldview and his opinion on things are much different than what my brother's opinions are, and I'm kind of midway uh, from both, so I'm not as uh, forgiving as my father. I'm not as grudge holding as my brother, but yeah, I'm somewhere in between. And I think listening to various writers and like reading different writers really hits you with the question that so there are poets who write about life being a good thing, life being something you enjoy and get over it, and you live, you laugh, and you die. And it's like that song where he says कि हर दिल को तेरी याद आए तेरे बाद ऐसा कुछ करके जा फिर दुनिया से डोल एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी के मोल जग में रह जाएंगे प्यारे तेरे बोल. So somewhere somehow I think these recordings that I'll do and that I keep doing in recent times is somewhere motivated by this fact that this stays on the internet somewhere somehow. But yeah, definitely what really crossed my mind today and what actually made me record this was not the motivation part of it, was not the happy part of it. It was more the blues I've been feeling with the ever changing stage around me. One moment I was very angry, one moment I was very happy, the next moment I'm stressed, and now I'm completely relaxed, and I have no idea how all this like happens around me, and I seem to have no control over it. And even though I try, even though I want to, things don't go the way I want them to every time. And to top everything, Piyush Mishra drops bangers on Spotify Shuffle, and I've heard it a million times before, I think, and every time I hear it, it hits me. And a great Hindi writer once told me, his name is Jitendra Nath Mishra. He told me that art is something that uh, reveals itself in various forms every time you see it. So every time you listen to a song, if you hear it as a new thing, like you hear a new thing in it, you hear a new meaning in it, you get a new perspective on it. I think that necessarily means that it's a good piece of art. And that's what I live by. That's what I think about art. So far, my definitions might change. And the one thing that this piece literally hit me to the bones was a paragraph where it says that गालिब के मोमिन के ख्वाबों की दुनिया मजाजों की उन इनकलाबों की दुनिया. So my low notes are very bad at this point in time. So फैज़ फ़िराक साहिर उ मखदूम मीर की ज़ौक़ की दागों की दुनिया. ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है. Let's try it once again. So गालिब के मोमिन के ख्वाबों की दुनिया मजाजों की उन इनकलाबों की दुनिया. फैज़ फ़िराक साहिर व मखदूम मीर की ज़ौक़ की दागों की दुनिया. ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है. Which necessarily translates to the fact कि poets and artists around us weave a picture of life, a picture of art that we relate to and we think that is the reality. And I don't know how often we figure out if what they're telling us is the truth and how much of that do they actually believe. And it's very prevalent in our own generation as well. Like if I am to lecture someone on anything, let's say life, love, career, anything, I don't necessarily think I would be doing exactly the same things if I were to listen to myself. I don't think I necessarily do those things that I tell others. I'm more random and disciplined than I tell others to be. But yeah, kind of hits every now and then that the rosy picture of life, that the fact that everyone says that do something so good that people remember you after you die. With each passing day, with each event, the fact that the memory of people are so short and so fragile. मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ, पल दो पल मेरी कहानी है. It sometimes it takes away the motivation to stay good, the motivation to stay what you aspire to be as a child. But you definitely cling on to it. I do. I don't know about others. They shift. There might be moments where you kind of shift from it. There might be moments when you kind of think otherwise. But ultimately, you're growing up. Your childhood wins, at least up to age 25, 26, I hope. So by then, I think people are good enough to make their own decisions. I'm too young to make any comments on that. But yes, This is just something that crossed my mind, that people's uh, memories are so short. People's viewpoints are so fragile, so ever changing, that you can't actually commit to anything, or like you can't actually say that this is right, this is wrong, and you can't actually manage to be ever present or ever lasting in someone's eyes, in anyone's eyes for that matter. It's like you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And I think that's somewhat the reality of life, but I would like to stay optimistic about it. I still am. I think it's a good thing that we are alive, and as long as we have our body parts working, it's great to be alive, and it's really important to be thankful of things we're given. Maybe when my thankful mood hits, I'll post some other video with life. Life seems too interesting, but currently with the changing scenarios, I think it's just hitting me that ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है. I think it is kind of hitting me that no matter what we do, no matter what we try, there is not much impact we're creating or we would create. And you guys are free to disagree with me. And whatever your views are on this, please feel free to comment it. I'll definitely go through them. I'll try to make my viewpoints better. But yeah, today feels like a dull day, and the thoughts are dull, definitely. So, bye bye, I guess.